Hello guys, we are back with some more Division 2 today, and we of course have another league game with us. So this is game 2 between Mimile and ColonelKoenig. So this is Div 1 game, and I'm excited for it. So you've seen game 1 a while back. If you haven't seen that one, go check that out. The reason why I have waited so long for game 2 was that I wasn't sure if someone else was going to cast it. Step Knight, who also has a small channel, actually bigger than mine probably, um, has reacted to it, and I thought that meant that he was gonna cast it because he also does very few videos in English. But since 2 weeks have passed and he hasn't done it, I assumed that it was not the case. So, and I have now gone forward and decided to cast it. So this is an interesting one. As you can see, we have an interesting matchup here. We get to see 4th US Armored, which is not something that we see every day. So I'm excited for that. Now, also just on the quick notes, so there is going to be a lot of content coming now. I have tons of my own league games. Then I have another playing every division ready to go. What else do I have? Another strategy talk is finally coming. I've neglected them quite a bit, and then someone has quite a while ago actually asked for a town fight guide, and this is actually in the making. So I'm sorry it took so long. Might take another 2 weeks or so because my next weekends are a little bit busy, and during weekdays I just don't have unlimited time. But it's gonna get out there. I promise you, it's gonna come in the near future. But yeah, with that, let's now hop into the decks. Let's start with 4th Year's Armored, because we do not get to see that division very, very often. It's usually banned, and that's for a good reason. Now, on this map, honestly, I am a little bit surprised it would not have been my first choice. But I mean, it is a Sherman division, it has a decent infantry tab, but it lacks in CQC, so that can definitely be a problem here. Curious to see, though, how this one actually plays out. So let's go to the recon tab. We do have the Ammo and Pioneers, quite nice recon unit with bazooka, I think, and a TNT, M8, of course, and then some stewards and cavalry scouts. Although you don't need that many of them because there's plenty of bazookas in the infantry tab already. Infantry tab, we do have the armored rifles BAR. Engineers rifles late, which is pretty cool that you can get them early on, and then another card of armored rifles. No, sorry, this time just the armored rifles. These actually with the 50 cal half track. So everything before that came in unarmed transports. And then in B phase we have some more rifles late and engineers. And in C phase you do get another card of armored rifles BR. So I'm surprised that we don't see the armored rifles LMG. Um, and not that many 50 cal half tracks, but you have to remember that he's playing against the Soviet division, which have plenty of AT rifles. So half tracks are, while still very, very useful, not as dominant as they can be in other matchups. Tank tab, we do have lots of stewards, which are going to be super obnoxious. That being said, though, they won't have an easy time against Matildas. I don't feel like. Then we have the Rhinos. This is going to be a major issue, I feel like, for Emil. Then some M475s, and then of course the 76s, which are the top of the top when it comes to Shermans, in my opinion, or medium tanks in general. The only better one is the one in Blinde, because that one actually has 100 millimeters of armor in contrast to that one. Support tab, he brings both cards of flamethrowers, the Browning, of course, which you can bring in the 50 cal, which you can bring in a fast transport, which is huge. Then, of course, ammo and some 2k AT tab, just one M1 gun, and the rest is Hellcats, but he's holding back quite a bit. But it makes sense, you don't need that many in this matchup, actually. AA tab, M15s, it's all that you get. Artillery tab, the artillery leader. Yeah, he doesn't actually have a leader in the infantry tab, so he outsources that one to the artillery tab and to the stewards. They're quite nice for that. I mean, it's 25 points, and you can use that, the steward leader, as your leader for infantry in towns and such. And for forests, you have to bring the artillery leader. And then in terms of actual artillery, just one M12, which shouldn't die really, because mobile, some mortars, and then the off map, of course, because it's a town map, so off maps are going to be strong. Air tab, some fighters, fighter bombers, and the napalm plane, and that's it. And on the other side, we do have some Mechanized, a division that I think is pretty good for a map like this. It's a Soviet division, so you have the decent Soviet CQC, and you have lots of cheaper tanks to go around there. However, I think it's not for this specific matchup. It's probably not as good as its brother, third Mechanized. But then again, it has at least some tools that can deal with those a little bit more heavily armored tanks that 4PS gets. But the regular tanks are going to struggle against a Rhino or something like that. So that's going to be an interesting matchup there. So in the recon type, we do have some Rozvedkas, which are going to be absolutely crucial, I guess, with their bazooka, and some T-34s. Infantry tab, quite nice. You have the superior PP shot for early rush and spam. Love to see that. And then the rest is just some Strelkys after those. And then in B phase, you get the Tankos, more Strelkys, and some Strelky SVT in C phase. And yeah, the F does and A phase come with the 50 cal half track, but once again, limited use this time, not because there's AT rifles on the other side, but because there's plenty of bazookas everywhere. And then you have the Matilda and the SV76I, which are the two special things that this division gets. The Matilda is going to be absolutely horrible to deal with for Koenig with his stewards, but the Germans, of course, should be able to kill that just fine. And then we have some T-34-76s, which is nice as well. Support tab, the usual Cheeky Dushka. Then we do get the SU-122 and some the SU-152, which only has HE. Just want to point that out. And AT tab, we do have the 45mm, which is very, very nice. SU-85, and then of course the ISU-122S. Now here they are shown with more availability, I think, and cheaper price, because this video is pre-patch, but of course the game was this video is after the patch, but this video has been recorded before the patch, so that's changed. And I mean, these can be quite nice for Mimile. The problem is that in the town they will have limited use, and they're still killable for Koenig when he uses his what are they called? The Hellcats. AA tab, nice with the 25mm, 37mm, and then you get some M15s as well at double that. Interesting choice there. Although, I mean, we now also have higher availability, so there's actually two, so he has 3 AA pieces in BFACE overall, so that makes much more sense now. Artillery tab, you have the SU-76, which truthfully is all you need, and then the off map, it's a 203, so that's going to hurt a bit. Air tab, yeah, just some PE3 recon and fighter bomber, and then some P40N fighters. Although I'm not sure how well they're going to do. They have low resilience, bad resilience, and they do have a decent loadout with multiple 50 cals though. All right, let's check out what we have here on the map. Down south, we do have an interesting play here by Mimile. It looks like he tries to sneak something over here. I guess it has to be the Rozvedka? No. Yeah, it's be one of these. Yeah, there we go. Is a pair PP shot, interesting. It's certainly quite lightly deployed here. I mean, he can rush forward and grab this, but I don't know what he wants to do after that. Because against the engineers, these will not win generally. I mean, you can see them basically as kind of like flamethrowers, right? They rush forwards, they can hold the position for a little bit if they can contest CQC range against a non-CQC unit, but other than that, just not much they can do. They have Panzer, actually they do have Panzerfaust, so they can be super obnoxious in snipe transports, but other than that, that's basically it, right? So they're not really gonna hold this. I guess that Mimile knows that, and he just wants to force Koenig to do something here, and then he probably wants to sneak that behind lines. I don't know what's the exact plan there. Koenig, in the meantime, puts an AT gun here, pretty classic. And then, yeah, we have flamethrowers, we have engineers, and then some armored rifles and an ammo and Pioneer. In the center, Koenig deploys relatively lightly. It's very common. If Red really wants to push in here and has fast transports and or light armor, Red will be able to do that at the start. The question is then, can you hold it? And yeah, I mean, there's a 50 cal though, that might help. The question is, does Mimile do it? A little bit. He tries to get into it, but he's not doing a major push here, which makes sense. He does not have any light armor to support it. It can still be very successful. It's still a good thing to do. But of course, there's very limited options if you don't have strong assets for the open. And he has the SU-122s, but that would be a massive investment for a phase, of course. So just some support weapon being set up in these forests, and then I have to imagine probably a flamethrower or a peri PP shot. Yep, with a with an odd pathing here. As for the town, this is where Mimile goes. It's relatively strong. There's a lot of units in here. I guess the plan is to grab this flag. It's one of the few flags that you can get easily from blue side relatively easily. And then he has an early Su-85 and some AA as well. I mean, he knows Koenig. Koenig loves his planes. Koenig, on the other hand, is very lightly deployed in the town. Some CQC and one one rifles BR as well as one Hellcat. And then up north, Koenig goes really hard with a very deep push into here. That's definitely interesting. And of course, getting into that forest and the town, and then probably he wants to swing, like go through here and then swing down here to the town. And Mimile tries to react to that mostly with a very PP shot, probably to kill these transports as they're getting in, and then some Matildas, which can help, but they are slow to arrive, of course. And I think we are not going to delay this any further and start right away. And the problem is, of course, going to be that any support armor here in forms of the Matildas are going to be painfully slow. Meanwhile, Koenig has, you know, the M8s that can come fast. He has the Stewards that are faster. Now, none of these can actually deal with the Matildas. The problem is the Matilda are not great for anti-infantry support. And at the same time, Koenig also has tons of bazookas if he needs them. So I think this is going to be a rough fight. So Mimile is of course on the bad side here. We have to remember that blue side can relatively easily grab flags here. You have these 3 flags that are all grabbable for blue. Now, it doesn't mean that red can't grab flags from blue side, right? This, for example, is just as hard to grab for red as it is hard to grab, as this one is hard to grab for blue. But these ones are just relatively close to front line, and the big thing here is, of course, that these 3 are close together, which means that red side can actually, with one push in one general area, try to pressure 2 flags, right? You can kind of use the same forces to pressure this general area, and then from here it's relatively easy to go down and try to grab this as well. Meanwhile, red can grab this one relatively easily at the start. The problem is once you get pushed out of it, it's relatively hard to get back into. Here's one, as I just said, if blue focuses here, you're probably not going to get that. And blue has just much more to grab right here. If you want to grab something, you have to go very deep with these 2 flags. Center at the start is doable, but it didn't work, as we can see. But the problem is it's also not super easy to sustain. So you can see getting in here, KDP stands no chance here. Easily get wiped out, and now we have the half-tracks pushing forward. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a Rozvedka coming in. I think Rozvedka would probably have been the right call, because I mean he had to expect that there was going to be some light armor, and he also should have known that the Matildas were slow to arrive. Now I feel bad every time I criticize these top players for something, because of course they know much more than I do. So everything that I'm saying here might be completely wrong, but I just have a hard time like grasping what the plan here was, to be honest. I think the plan was for these Superior PP shot to kind of stop the transports here with the Panzerfaust, kill them, but it didn't work, and now everything here is just under a lot of pressure. It's not much Unique can do. Now the thing is, as soon as the Matildas arrive and the bazookas can be kept in check, Mimile is actually in a good spot, because Koenig's light armor just can't deal with the Matilda at all. So it kind of goes both ways, I guess. And I mean, yeah, but then again, if once the Shermans are coming, especially the Rhinos, Mimile will struggle once again. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's overall quite tough in terms of the armor matchup, and Mimile's armor can do less because of the bazookas that Koenig has. He has done a nice job of pushing Superior over here, which just means that he can grab these flags for free for a little bit. That can buy him some time, and it forces Koenig to react. And there we go. Now, if Koenig wouldn't notice, which I don't think, yeah, he knows. He's very well aware of it. But if you do this against lower skilled players than these top players, it sometimes happens that they don't really know where it is and drive too close. Like just think that it's like some in here, and then you drive it up here, and then might get killed by the Panzerschreck, as you can see, within range. But Koenig, yeah, Koenig is on top of this micro. He's paying attention. Yeah, he watches where like how the front line develops as he pushes closer, and then realizes that he's now in danger. and unloads in time. Although, never mind, it misses. Okay, he actually made the mistake of getting too close and loses the steward in the process. Ah, that's bad. And now he had to unload the 50 cal. So this already paid off, right? Killed a steward, caused some annoyance, and the 50 cal is now unloaded and delayed. So that was definitely well worthwhile. Nice play there by Mimile. The problem is Koenig has meanwhile just grabbed these flags. Now this one is going to get away pretty quickly. Ah, might not. Well, with these it certainly will. One of the issues that I can see here is that Mimile, if I remember correctly, has those in A phase together with the Superior Bishar and the Flamers. And Koenig's Flamers and Engineers can actually deal with that quite nicely. I mean, Aftos will generally lose against the Engineers because the Engineers can get to throw their TNT. So I think in A phase it's going to be rough, and then in B phase against the tank host, the Engineers will have a hard time. But A phase, oh, the After might actually go down here to the M1 Pioneers. It has a bazooka. This is such an obnoxious unit. It's recon. It actually, if you get very close, it has the M1 carbines and then has the bazooka and the TNT. Now it's 30 points, so you don't necessarily want to use it primarily with the TNT, but it is there if the need arises, which is great. And bazookas are bazookas. You never complain about having bazookas, don't you? Yeah, I mean, the Superior People just holding this whole thing back here, so that's definitely cool, but it's just not much you can do. Like, if Koenig at any point decides to push forward, the Superior People shot will not be able to withstand that. But I mean, it's doing its job, right? I think that's what Emil probably wanted, right? Koenig get deployed here, and he doesn't know what is in here, so the one Superior People shot here is just holding the line. That's all that he needs to do. Although now he goes for the M1 gun. I think if this was his plan all along, he probably shouldn't focus somewhere else, I feel like. But I guess he's afraid that he kills the Matilda, because now, truthfully, nothing here can deal with the Matilda, except for the armored rifles if they get close enough. Against those, the Superior PP Shah should, generally speaking, win, I would say. Armored rifles BR opening up on the Pustrelki. Matilda, unfortunately, only has the machine gun. There's not much that he can do in terms of support. Now, it's a T-gun. Absolutely great. But only against armor, sadly. One here has been penned, is now falling back, gets killed by the Rhino. Yeah, the Rhino's going to be a massive issue. Mimile doesn't actually have anything that can kill the Rhino. He does not have any tanks at all that can deal with the Rhino. He has some tank hunters. He has the SU-85 that can do it, and the SU-122. But of course, you don't want to bring the SU-122 into this area right here. That would be suicide. Because I mean it's just going to get killed by one of the one of the bazookas. And the SU-85 definitely has a chance. The problem is the SU-85 doesn't have a turret, so the Rhino should have a better chance there. You need to make sure that he can actually how to approach it head on to be able to get a good first shot off. And the other thing is, of course, the Rhino can easily pen the SU-85 as well. So it's not that easy, actually. Koenig decides to push forward, looks like. He's smoked with the flamethrower. I guess he's afraid that he's going to get wasted if he pushes forward, which is not going to happen, but he doesn't know that. Pioneer is still lurking around. He could potentially go after these tanks. The question is, is he aware that he could? Yeah, he sees both of them. But I mean, right now there's probably no reason because the Rhino can kill the Matilda, and then we have the T-34 that the Rhino could potentially spot as well. Mimile probably has no idea what's in there. No, he does not. Howdy. Dushka versus 50 cal. That shouldn't have done well for the 50 cal. For the Dushka. Is it shooting at something else? Oh, the 50 cal is shooting at this. Or was shooting at this. I think the Dushka's gonna win because the 50 cal was busy elsewhere. Maybe still is. Is it? No, it's not. I think it's returning the fire right now. I just can't see it. Because the Dushka is gathering suppression. Oh, Hellcat here gets another kill. Another hit on the Matilda. Gets the kill. P3. It's not going to get through. Was trying to go for the Rhino. That was probably the only hope that Mimile had right here to kill that Rhino. And the M15 denies him that. And now we have the flamethrowers pushing forward. 1-on-1, the Saperi will win. 2-on-1, no chance. Actually, even 1-on-1, because these have, I think, better health than a two-man team, actually. So, and Saperi PP shot, like, yeah, I'm not sure if 4 PP shots are enough to actually kill it reliably without dying in the process. Because otherwise, like, generally speaking, your a flamer unit can lose against an after. Although I'm not so sure how this works now with, for example, a Storm Pioneer versus after. Because now the Storm Pioneer has a flamer and decent submachine guns, so that might change a bit. Oh, one flamethrower here dies. After goes down to the ammo and Pioneers. The Koenig micro, I don't know. It's not pushing forward though. Might be able to grab some more kills here with it. Rhino pushing forward. I mean, there's nothing here to deal with that. 13-11 for Koenig right now. Matilda here just bravely holding the line, but it has very limited vision. Let's see what he actually. What does Mimile spot here? Nothing. He says no clue about what's going on. That's. I mean, he knows that the CQC in here, right? That's what he needs to know. What he doesn't know is how much. Koenig could potentially push forward, but I'm not sure he has realized yet. I mean, these are the things that you need to keep in mind, right? It's we have someone made a comment about that recently. So it is, of course, all the things that we comment, of course, come from the fact that we have God vision and see everything that's going on. In the situation, this is very, very different. You don't. There's things that you don't realize. Now, these top players, though, are very, very good at reading the map. So these have, generally speaking, a relatively good idea of where their opponent might be weak. So I think Koenig will realize that he can push here eventually. Mimile has regained this town here actually, with a mix of CQC and his mighty Strelki. But there were tons of Matildas here, and now they are now. Oh, Ammo and Pioneer's getting some kills here. Might kill the tanker as well, unless Mimile unloads it in time. Does he realize? He does not, and he goes down. The He could probably push. He could move forward and kill these as well. If he had some bazooka shots left, which he does not, he could actually move forward and kill these two. But I guess up till now he hasn't realized that they would. Oh, Rhino targeting the right target with the SU-85. SU-85 gets a driver knocked out. Oh, but the Rhino gets the kill as he got the first shot off. That's really unfortunate. And the T-34 will not be able to pen the Rhino. It looks like the Rhino fails to kill the T-34 as well. Fails again. Will I get that Tanko pushing forward here? Wow, what? T-34 got the kill on the... Wow, okay. That's very, very unfortunate for Koenig. I mean, yeah, I can overpen at close range, right? Penetration is not a fixed value. It's just tells you what the probability is. Matilda now has to fall back. All armored rifles have pushed forward, get a bazooka off and get the kill. And since there's only a recon unit here, which does not affect the front line, I think this will... Okay, so we'll actually grab the flag, but it will most certainly let Koenig know that there's nothing here. Now Mimile has to react quickly. He brings a tank, which is... I was going to say maybe not the answer here, but truthfully, even without a tank, even just the Steward and the half-track could prove to be major problems there. So that was probably the right call. The tankers here won their initial engagements and were able to push forward, but unfortunately they were stopped by rifles here as they are limited to CQC. We have an off-map coming in, going down on this area right here. Might bring Mimile this flag back, and Tanko could potentially get in and secure it, but I guess that's not happening. And Rozvedka has been spotted, but the Steward is still moving forward, so Rozvedka might be able to pick up a kill. That would be massive. Oh, Strelki still goes down, and Rozvedka gets... Oh no. Steward now pushing forward, might get the surrender here. No, doesn't look like it. I think Rozvedka's going to get away. This thing, quite nice that he moves that, but unfortunately the Steward is here and will probably kill that. Unless he managed to back off. Steward misses. Yeah, it's might get away. PE3 gets a kill, I don't know what that was. 14-10 for Koenig as he grabs these two flags. Mimile can bring that back though. They're already halfway through B phase and Mimile has yet to get a flag advantage. I think he had one very, very quickly initially, but that went away relatively soon after. And now we have... Oh yeah, there's an M12. I was going to say that looks like some big guns. We also have a mortar, so Koenig felt comfortable enough to invest into artillery early on. And that's generally speaking not a thing to do. I said that in a recent cast, and I stand by that. That being said, of course, if you know for a fact that you have done well, and I think Koenig has traded decently so far, then you can of course do that against Maverick in B phase. I would not recommend it if you are a new player though, and I would really only recommend it if you know exactly that you have traded well. Oh, Rozvedka fails to get a kill here. There we go, still gets the bazooka off. Could have potentially killed the flamethrower. Might still win. I don't know if it can. 1 PP shot and 7 SVTs should still waste 1 flamethrower. There we go. Down it goes. And then the off map here. I don't think it's going to kill the Rhino, but it's definitely going to pin the AT gun. Then maybe the T-34 can push forward. Maybe gets a shot off that overpens once again. Engineer here goes down. Tanker now pushing forward. Should win against these at close range. Sub-theory PP shot trying it again. Love to see that. And I mean, rifles late unspotted and one of these gets too close, which doesn't seem to be the case. Could have gotten a kill. 45 mil here in a nice position as well to potentially snipe some units there. Could maybe even get a side shot on the Rhino, but the side armor might be too strong. Actually, not that strong, yeah. So if he can get a side shot here. Or P3, a lot of fire by all the 50 cals here. 50 cals are so annoying when it comes to that. And now he pushes forward as the Rhino is falling back. Oh, look at that. The 45 mil gets some shots off, misses the first one. Bounces. Oh, that's so unlucky. For Rozvedka just pushing in. Interesting choice there. The Steward goes down. Oh, the front line flips because these are all falling back. The Rozvedka could unload it and gets this. What? I was gonna say he could unload and kill off that Rhino. But I don't know when I saw this the last time. I think no, that's been ages ago. I didn't actually remember that you can surrender a tank when he is falling back. That's crazy. I think I saw this maybe once or twice in an old cast by attack power, but that must have been ages ago. Never happened. I've never managed to pull it off. I don't think it's ever happened to me with my tanks, but it is a thing. I mean, now that I've seen it, I remember having seen it before, but I don't know, that was ages ago. And we have a massive blob here by Mimile, so it looks like Mimile has decided now it's the time to break Koenig. And if you look at the map, there's a lot of red over here. There's also a lot of blue in other areas, though. So Koenig has this well under control, and he poked here, then he decided to poke over here now, and he's reinforcing the town as Mimile focuses there. So Koenig's doing a great job of just poking everywhere a little bit. But Mimile's massive push here might prove to be a major issue. I mean, these units can certainly do a lot of damage here, and Mimile has to be careful because of the bazookas. But I think now he actually needs a cavalry scout, because I don't think probably has not many armored rifles left, and then new ones he only gets in C phase. Mimile actually, if Mimile can kill that 50 cal, he can actually push back into here. I think, yeah, that's the only thing that's stopping him. 13-11 for Mimile now. He looks like he's turning it around. But this is exactly what you want as the balance player, right? You want to have an early lead in A phase and make your opponent work hard to actually equal out first, and then you can get back in C phase relatively easily compared to when you're on the back foot in A phase already. Now, oh, T-34 here goes down. And now the 76s arrive, which can be a major issue. They should, generally speaking, win against these T-34s. The T-34s are all bouncing on the 5. That's rough. I mean, it's 100 millimeters of armor. That's the pen of this, so it they should still be able to pull it off. But I guess that's not how it goes. Hellcat and 76 here. Oh, never mind. They're actually just going after the infantry and not this tank blob. But this tank blob, part of this tank blob is also going after this infantry now. Bouncing. Oh, that's unlucky. And here we see the power of the 76. Gets the kill. The S1 also bouncing. It's the pen of this. Also 100. Another bounce by the Su-76I. This thing? What's the pen on this? So this thing is actually a decent tank. It also has radio, which is rare for Soviets. So this thing, this off-map is actually quite good, I think, because you get a decent tank out of it too. What's the 2 DTs? It's not too bad. To get falling back, but still not getting penned. Crew panics, but still no pen. Holy moly. That's just brutal. Finally gets killed. I mean, not gonna lie, I feel like Mimile got some major bad luck here. Hellcat, who snipes the Su-76I. No pushes down here. And now we see the first P-47 in. So Koenig has been waiting for his air spam to start, I guess. And so far there is one AA gun out. Mimile needs to increase that number really, really quickly, because we all know what Koenig loves to do. He loves his airplay, and if you allow him to do it, you are doomed. And so far, Mimile has not managed to build up enough pressure to prevent Koenig from doing this, right? I mean, it tells us a lot that Koenig felt safe enough to buy that plane. Truthfully, though, this flag could have actually brought the 15-9 if Mimile managed to grab another one, which I think he might be able to do here. So the plane might actually have saved him from it in this case, so it probably was a good call. I mean, once again, when these players make these kind of calls, it's probably a good call. It's just that I do not understand. That's generally how it goes. Oh, but this thing here is a bad call in my opinion, because I mean, he knows that there's tons of infantry with bazookas everywhere, so going to these like very tight areas where you know that there's going to be infantry somewhere around is very, very risky. 14-10 for Mimile, but C phase has started now. Truthfully, the major change often happens in Z phase, so it's not like it's looking particularly bad for Mimile. It's just that if you look at the map, I mean, Koenig is starting to look weak, and he has a lot of backline units. But now we do have an off-map coming in that could change this whole thing. I could easily push Mimile out of here again. And I mean, that's the problem with Mimile's side, right? Koenig had, I mean, he had made really good plays as well. But he has, generally speaking, because of the map, a much easier time to grab some flag early on. Mimile has a little bit of a harder time, especially when it comes to major pushes, right? Mimile has to push really deep to grab these two flags. This one is okay. Koenig didn't have to push super deep to grab these two flags, on the other hand. And once again, once you lose this, once you push out of here on the red side, it's just hard to get back in. So it's not super easy to pressure this flag at a later point then. We do see an ISU 122S and it's coming in relatively aggressively. Oh, look at that. Mimile actually managed to re-grab this flag in the center. He didn't even need 2k for it. Just has 1 3 here to cover things off together with a Dushka and then two T-34s that can kill the 105. That's great for Mimile right there. The 105 has heat shot, so he can technically kill these tanks. Now the accuracy is not super high, but it can be done. What's going to be more of a problem, I think, is this 75, because I think this has, yeah, this is 110 millimeters of armor, so the T-34s will struggle a bit more against that. That will shift the balance ever so slightly to the 75. Is he actually going to put off a flank here? He is. Mimile has noticed, though, he's falling back. Oh, but only with one of them. The one stays engaged, so we'll get a side shot by this one now. What's this shooting at? Return to face the flamethrower. Oh, and gets a side shot by the 75. And now this Resvetka turns and gets a side shot by this 75. Oh, that's brutal. Is the T-34 gonna turn a favor? It is not, and the 75 does pen. And down the Sherman goes, and all of a sudden the center is not so contestable anymore. The SU-122S can fix that potentially. Will it spot the 75, and will 75 remain in line of sight long enough? It does not look like it. Oh, it gets penned though, by what? By this is free? I haven't seen it fire, but I must have shot then. Oh, it's spotting it again. No, it's spotting this one. Misses. I would have gotten the nice side shot there, but now the 75 is starting to open up on the ZIS-3. Down south, still nothing happening. And Mimile's quick push into this forest here seems to have been dismantled already. And the problem is, he doesn't really, if he's out of CQC, which he might, I don't actually know, he's not going to win the forest anymore. The Strelky SVT do have SVTs, which is definitely better in the forest than regular, like Mosins. But the problem is, Koenig has the armored rifles BR, and the BAR is capable of shooting at these ranges. As you wanted to, had a chance, but did not get the kill on the 75. It's opening up on the flamethrower in the meantime, and it is within the next off map, so it might go down here. Oh, that's an SU-122 here as well, and it gets a kill on the Sherman, the off map Sherman. And actually, no, I hope we're gonna see another one, because I think I want to see what kind of unit it is. I think this does only have the machine guns. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. After I keep pushing forward, the Dushka can't do anything. The Sapir Bisha could move over. It looks like this is happening, and get a kill on it. Where's it going? Are you playing hide and seek around the building? Oh, Mimile notice and gets a kill. Sapir Bisha is going to reconnect. Wait, this thing? No, it doesn't have radar trade. Oh, but I mean, yeah, since it went down, it was enough for the line to reconnect. That's definitely great there. Strelky SVT versus Rifles BAR. With the cover difference, the Strelky should win, but with the fire support difference right here, it should really just lose. P47 going after the pair of people shots. Okay, he's not even doesn't even need to clear it out. Oh, that might be a little bit of an overkill. 2 planes for it. But I mean, it brings him a flag back, so you might to judge. And now he only needs 1, and he has stabilized. With Mimile just being barely ahead in tickets, and we still have a long way to go. We have 25 minutes left, a little bit less than that. And now the artillery starts opening up on these units over there. IC-122 is on the run. 25 mils also run. Still, I think the only AT gun. AA gun, is it? It is. Koenig is stabilized, 12-12. And the only thing that's holding the line here is the After Comarotti, which it looks like was spotted by the engineers. It was. Strelky SVTs are coming in a little bit too deep. I think Mimile probably just wants to unload right here. It's just not going to happen. This one also pushing forward super aggressive. The problem is there is a Sherman right here. I can definitely stop that. Mimile has not reacted yet. He tries it again with the recon plane, actually. Now we have Resvetka coming. Yeah, he needs Panzerschrecks now. Bazookas. It's not Panzerfaust. It's not Panzerschreck, it's a bazooka. Might be able to stop an armor push that is not coming at the moment. Oh, no. Yeah, just has some machine guns. That's what I thought. We have another SU-122. That has a heat shell. It can definitely one-shot some tanks here. That 75 here lives dangerous life. What is it doing now? Ah, it's opening up on the infantry there. Has it just re-aimed? No. Oh, it did, yeah. But not on the tank. This SU-122 is actually going the CQC mode. It's gonna kill the 76 because I have to imagine that's what it spotted. Oh no, it's going after the M1 gun. Wow. Obliterates that. I mean, he can one-shot the 76, so that's 100% possible. SU-122 spots now. Oh, this armored rifle's there. Yeah, Mimile tried, and it was a good try. The problem is the 50 cal is still here, and the Strelky is probably slowly going to die there. Is the SU-122 able to hold the line here? Still 12-12. I mean, it's going to be hard for Mimile. I can't imagine that he can do it. But he has some pretty nasty units here with the IC-122S and the SU-122, which just got penned by the 75. Can it take revenge? He gets the heat shell off. No, it wasn't heat shell, it was HE. Oh, he did turn it off. But the 75mm gets the kill before it can take revenge for that pen. That's sad. That's so sad. IC-122S versus Hellcat? No. Let's line aside whatever it was shooting at. Hellcat does have 2 APCR shells loaded up, so that's definitely dangerous for the IC-122S. First one. Oh, IC-122S misses. Did he get penned? It did not, so it was a miss. And the Hellcat has lost shot by both of its APCR rounds. Second one looks like it hit, but no, it didn't either. There we go, Hellcat goes down. IC-122S here, being the king of the armor, holding everything off. Now we see a fresh push down south, or not so fresh, just whatever used to be there is now being moved forwards. The Rebecca can deal with that half track. Israel can do that as well, honestly. This thing actually uncontested because there's no AT or anything. Mimile looking very, very weak on the map now. Koenig could probably very soon, if it wasn't for the IC-122S, just Q move forward and get that. I might go down to this off-map barrage now. Same for the AA. And I mean, once the AA is dead, if you play against Koenig, that's a death sentence. Especially since on the balanced income, so he can buy more planes if he wants to. I don't remember how much he has, but he had some. Oh yeah, yes, he wants to goes down to the off map. Yikes! Off map, so gross. And 1311 all of a sudden, and Mimile surrenders. I mean, he had to have noticed how weak his front lines were. Let's look at the stance first. Yeah, 2565 versus 3755. That felt pretty decisive for sure. And then in terms of kills, some Strelka DP did fine at the start. The planes did some damage, which is not nearly enough for considering how much they cost. Matildas, yeah, as I said, against light armor, absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, here we have the MVP T-34 that killed the Rhino. Zvedka got quite a few kills as well. The off-map did not do so much, but I mean, Supermace is suppressed and allowed to push that spot off-map usually does. Not a T-34 doing quite well. The SU-122 actually got some decent kills up there as well. The SU-122, oh, he killed the 76. We missed that. That's sad. But that's about it. So the heavy stuff did some damage, and then some regular tanks and infantry units, but just not enough. And I mean, Emil just had a hard time finding flags, let's be honest. And that is certainly partly because of the side that it was on. But it looks like 4 US is dangerous on this map too, and might be worthy of a ban. Because Koenig certainly showed how you can use it well. Ammo Pioneers actually did some damage here. The Rhino, of course, that was to be expected. The M1 gun got way too many kills. Wow. The M12 did a bit of damage too, but nothing massive. The armored rifles, yeah, killed 2 tanks. That's rough. And then the 75. Yeah, I mean, it should be like these tanks should have a little bit of a harder time penning this, but that seems and this too, that seems a little bit excessive. Oh, that was the one that had the flanking going on, so that's why. That's why. That makes a lot more sense now. I mean, that's completely fair then. If you get side shots, that's super easy. And then some engineers as well. But, well, great game. Well played by Koenig. And I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you for watching. See you next time and have a great day.